Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying there. You were saying your Biggs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew you were tough and you were taking those punches.
Productions.
Making women gestures like,
Let's go, champ. It's the champ. Keep saying the champ. With the fake champ. With talent, lightning, let's go. ThaBoxingvoice.com. I'm a team like he's a C-plus fighter. I'm a dominate, I'm a dog fighter. I'm talking about punishing. We're going to punish you for 12 rounds. Either the referee says you had it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Fitting that we jump in at that part of the intro. Ken Porter speaking, and we're going to be speaking Ken Porter, Shawn Porter, Andre Berto, and this sparring session that they had via social media, via iPhone, Facebook, messages getting spit back and forth. On social media, they're definitely, well, Shawn Porter's definitely saying, make sure that you say yes when you get that call from the one good old Al Heyman. So the co-hosts that are going to chop it up and discuss this topic with me is none other than the good doctor all the way in the Sunshine State. Boxing them thing was going on, brother. I know you want to sit in on this. We're going to head on over to a doctor, the Sunshine State, Boxing MD. What's going on?
Is that a fair statement to make? You have to be honest with yourself. Glad to be back again. I think Shawn Porter is the definition of a guy with who doesn't really care about losing. And he's also a great example of if a PBC fighter wants to fight good opponents, that Uncle Al will allow them to do that. But is this really a competitive fight? And I guess we will discuss the social media sparring session they had and the potential, what a potential matchup looks like against these two welterweights.
And the editor all the way in Los Angeles, California. Matt, man, what do you think about this news? It broke yesterday, but it got a little more exciting as the hours developed.
I kind of agree with MD on the point that I think it's maybe more of a mismatch than we like to agree or think about, because even though Andre Berto is more of a name than maybe like a David Avicin, Andre Berto, I think, is old. He's past the hill. I think he's a limited boxer. His last good wins against Victor Ortiz, and we know what Victor Ortiz is at this point. But I think that, like, when Andre Berto was recently rumored to fight Chris Algieri on the co-main event of Keith Thurman versus Dan Garcia, I thought that was a way better matchup. And I thought, Shawn Porter should get a higher name because, like MD said, Shawn Porter's a throwback fighter. He's going to take big name fights back to back, even with losses, because he's that type of guy. He has that type of management around him that's okay with that. And I'm not bummed about this fight, but I'm not thrilled either.
When the Algieri situation arose, we did assume that it was going to be on the Thurman undercard. That was the rumor. It would be smart of them to put Berto Porter on the Thurman undercard since Thurman and Shawn Porter have that rivalry, that that fight of the year candidacy. They've already have plenty of media with each other. Why not put them back on the undercard to continue to build that stardom, and then add Andre Berto, a guy that was on a pay-per-view undercard. On a pay-per-view with one Floyd Mayweather. But now, is that going to be the problem? Because he's coming off of that pay-per-view and his knockout of Victor Ortiz, does he think he's a main event guy? Because based off the tweets and stuff, Team Porter is like, make sure you say yes when Al calls, because we're going to call Al and we know he's going to call you. You have to make sure you say yes. And some of the tweets that Berto said back to them is like, make sure the money's right. So for a guy like Berto, I think he's thinking money first.
Well, I think Andre Berto has been told by a lot of people in the boxing community, and I guess in stable, that he is better than what I think he is, because he didn't deserve the Floyd Mayweather fight. I think that Victor Ortiz win, and you said we know where Victor Ortiz is. Last time I've seen Victor Ortiz, he's getting a DUI when he's supposed to be training for Brandon Rios' fight. So we know where Victor Ortiz is. He was dropped by Victor Ortiz in that fight. And, you know, who has he fought really besides getting schooled by Floyd Mayweather in a fight that Floyd Mayweather could have beat him in his sleep? And it looked like he would just, you know, was going through the motions. I just don't see where Berto's name or skill or anything is warranted of a main event. And I don't know, like Shawn Porter, obviously he's better than his level of popularity as far as being competitive, but he needs, I think Berto needs a good opponent to be a headliner on a big PBC card.
I think Shawn Porter is a bigger name than you're letting on. I'll put it this way. You know, being from LA, we have the most casual fans of sports, period. You know, that's just a fact. And even more so with boxing. You know, if I go to a boxing event, it's more casual people there than hardcore people there. And when I was at the J-Rock Jamal Charlo fight, you know, they were showing all the people that were in the stands just watching the fight. You know, Deontay Wilder was there. I think Caleb Plant was there. I believe Shawn Porter was there, Demetrius Andrade. And the guy that got the biggest pop was Shawn Porter over Deontay Wilder even. The guy that got the biggest pop in an LA crowd was Shawn Porter. And I find that interesting. I was kind of surprised about that.
What card was that again? You said?
The Jamal Charlo J-Rock.
Matt, I hate to disagree with you, but I think a lot of people there were hardcore fans. And I think that Shawn Porter amongst hardcores is very popular because people like
Deontay Wilder. Come on, man. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. Like, that was shocking. You have to admit, like,
well, I think casuals know Deontay more than Shawn Porter. So then I think that the hardcores may give Shawn Porter more. I mean, I
understand your logic. I understand your logic. It's not like you have illogical, you know, reasoning, but I disagree with the premise. That's all. Okay,
that's fair enough. And I think obviously why Shawn Porter gets a lot of love amongst hardcores is that he is the PBC middleweight or welterweight road warrior, the sense that he'd fight anybody. And it's really indisputable. Like Shawn Porter, it's you really can't come up with any scenario that Shawn Porter's ducked anybody.
Let me get to some audio here about this situation, courtesy of Fight Hype.
This now, you wanted it then, you missed it. This ain't what you want. So real quick, you know, he tells me that Andre Berto once said that he wanted to fight me, and I'm like, well, shoot, that's music to my ears, because I thought we were gonna make something happen, and you know, now I'm thinking that we weren't, and it's nice to hear that you want to fight me. And I was like, you know what, I'll text him right now and let him know that, you know, let me see if I got his number. Ellie's like, forget texting, let's FaceTime him. FaceTime, he didn't answer. Call back, and he called back, and he's on the toilet. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, man.
So but you did talk to him.
I said, handle that business. I said, but I'm gonna make it clear that we both want a big fight. We both need a big fight. There's no one else out there but you and I. I said, let's please make this fight happen. So, and, you know, I understand that he told me that he wants to make the fight happen, and we both have to, you know, talk to our respective people or whatever. But it is as simple as that. So let's make.
You got something you want to say to me about that fight?
You know, I want that fight.
Oh, let's make that fight. It's done.
Yeah.
See how it is?
This the good part about it, man. Is I can hug my manager every day. And I do. I hug him every day, and he knows what I want, even without me saying it. So
it's done, son.
It's done over here.
It's done.
But it was done over here way back last year.
Yeah, so it was done. It's been done. So don't make any things about the business that has to be taken care of, because we're not concerned about anything.
Yeah.
We already know.
That was kind of the part I didn't express, was that I wasn't concerned with the business.
We're not concerned. We already know where we're at.
Yeah.
All you got to do is sign a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Let's make the announcement. Make it done.
Everybody wants that fight too. It ain't like, you know, Porter barking.
Everybody
wants that fight
like that.
Everybody wants that fight.
And he told me that
everybody's fighting everybody this year. No easy fights.
Yeah. So
Let's get it.
that's where it starts, man. That's where it starts, Berto.
Man.
Come on, let's do it.
So if Berto's and he is going to watch this, what are you telling him right now? I know you talked to him, but what are you telling him now?
You know I want the fight. You know I want to fight you. Let's do it, man. Let's do this for boxing. Let's not let forget, you know, us being friends.
I mean, what I'm taking from that, guys, is it's kind of like what you said, MD. If Berto knows in his heart of hearts that he's fighting as good as you think he is, well, then he's looking for the retirement paycheck. He's not going to take a tough fight with Porter, if that could possibly lead to being his last fight.
Mm-hmm. And this is, you know, another reason I think that a lot of people like Shawn Porter is there's not really much to not like about him because he seems like a genuinely nice guy, which is why I'm kind of happy because that is the most, I guess, shit talking I've ever heard him really talk, you know, because that's he's not the type of guy like Keith Thurman to, you know, drop a lot of F-bombs and, you know, get all animated. But, you know, Shawn Porter, don't mistake that for him being soft because we all know that there's nothing soft about Shawn Porter. He fought Kell Brook and Keith Thurman, who may be the number 1 and 2 best welterweights on earth.
Let alone the guys they fought in the amateurs who are now super middleweights and stuff. You know, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
They fought like the Durrell brothers, right? In the amateurs.
Junior middleweights. But you know what was a breath of fresh air for me is to see that, like you said, he was initiating this. He was speaking, you know, the father was really kind of on the side where normally that's not the case. So it was good to see that. And, you know, good to still see him willing to take whatever fight. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. I don't know if Berto's, you know, kind of interested in having that such a tough fight. Now, like Louis Sandoval said there.
Well, sorry to interrupt, but what would be more interesting is if you guys hit a thumbs up, you'll get more interesting topics. So I hate to remind you guys, but if you guys are watching, just please, every single time you click on the video, just, you know, that takes no time and no, you know, effort, but it means a lot to us and it means a lot for the future of this program.
And people are saying they want like Lomachenko versus Orlando Salido, you know, fight off kind of, you know, show.
GGG money numbers, you know, things like that, right?
Yeah, you need to be hitting that thumbs up for sure if you want us to continue to come back like this. I mean, don't make it so hard. But yeah, here goes some of the tweets here that they exchanged between each other. Andre Berto says, at Showtime, Shawn Porter, I don't duck anyone. You'll know that. So you'll know that, meaning I guess he's taking a fight. This is he meant to put business there. This is a business.
Wait, can you read the spelling out? What did he say? I'm trying to look at it.
Oh, you can't see it? Oh, it's Biuness.
He forgot a D where the U is, right?
Where?
Instead of the U, he should have put a D, right?
Oh, you know that? No, I think he says you will.
Yeah, he should have.
Like, no, you.
No. I'm saying business instead of saying BIU. He should have put BID. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
You don't get the joke.
He says you know who you have to call.
I got the joke. Right. It was just a stupid joke. That's all.
I thought it was hilarious.
Well, he says you know who you have to call. But this is what I didn't like. If it makes money, it makes sense. Now, what does he really mean by that? Neither guy is necessarily a draw. When's the last time that Andre Berto had a hometown fight?
You know what that means? That means he's all bitch. You don't want it.
Well, Shawn Porter goes on to say,
Shawn Porter doesn't talk like this. Is one thing, you know, Shawn Porter doesn't talk like that. And it's a breath of fresh air that we don't have a guy throwing up deuces saying, I'm a prize fighter. If it makes money, it makes sense. Deuces. Like, fuck you, Andre Berto. Shawn Porter wants it. We want the fight, like he says. And if you want to be taken seriously, fight our serious opponent and beat him. If not, I will always have the opinion of you that you are a hype job and overrated.
So Porter comes back to him and says, keep it 100. It made sense back in October, November. You shut it down, right? So Berto comes back at him and says, I don't know Who lied to you? And where am I at? I'm losing myself. There's so many fucking tweets in different positions here. Oh, there it goes. I don't know who lied to you. He said it, and so Porter comes back and says it doesn't even matter. Let's talk about now. When that call comes, say yes. And oh yes, that call is coming soon, all caps. So his next tweet is Team Porter will be moving forward to make this fight with Andre Berto. This is a fight that I want and it makes sense. So stay tuned. And then he said, I just FaceTime Andre Berto. Let's do this. We said, he said, we said and make this fight happen. I don't know what, I mean, they tweet too fast. They're not proofreading their shit.
Yeah.
He said, let's do like we said and make this fight happen ASAP. Excuse me. I'm reading that all wrong because I'm dyslexic.
So no, and I guess like according to rumors that Andre Berto re-entered the bathroom and threw up because he knew the inevitable was happening. So, you know.
I guess that was another joke we didn't get. I mean, maybe Matt got it. He gets your.
No, I didn't get that one. That was kind of weird. That was.
Well, okay.
Move on from that. MD.
Well, they were on the toilet, so then he went back to the bathroom to throw up because he's the fear.
The fear makes him throw up. I've never.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Like, there's no need. There's no need to like address that.
Will go down 3 rounds.
Next, I got milk, baby.
Yeah. I'm back, baby, for round 2. Hey, man, I like the fight, man. Say what you will about Berto, and his up and down career. I feel like whether he's a hype job or not, he's always been an entertaining fight, right? So I can dig that. I feel like when he does fight, I feel like he gives it, all that he has. And, Shawn Porter, that motherfucker comes to win all the time. Now, the interesting thing about this is if I had to choose a pick right now, if y'all put me on the spot, I would choose Berto just based on style. So I hope they do make the fight because I'm interested to see, Berto had
but can you explain the style, though?
When did Berto have that shoulder surgery?
Same time Pacquiao did.
After the Karras fight. After
he can have 2 shoulders, and he would still get his ass whooped in this fight.
Yeah, what's the style that's going to give Porter problems?
Well, see, all right, look, man. Let's be real about some shit, all right? Berto can punch, right? Shawn
so can Keith Thurman.
Come forward, but Shawn smothers his punches. One of Berto's best punches is the uppercut. I feel like he would be I feel like the uppercut would be landing on Shawn Porter all night. We know Berto can punch, man. Listen, guys, it's about styles, man. Don't worry about what guy beat who beat who and when they beat them. It's about styles. Cut all the other shit out. Let's look at this man versus this man, right? Mm-hmm. Styles make fights. This is going to be a good fight. I'm picking Berto. All right? That's my call.
Yeah, I want to touch on styles really quickly.
Calling in, bro.
I want to touch on styles really quickly because Shawn Porter did better in the Keith Thurman fight than I expected him to do. And I'm telling you straight up that Keith Thurman does everything better than Andre Berto. Everything better. He's a better boxer. I think he hits harder. I think that he's much more conditioned. And I think that he deals with pressure better. We saw in the Andre Berto fight, I know he had a shoulder issue, but even before he had a shoulder problem, Robert Guerrera, who is a small guy moving up, he gave him issues in that entire fight. He actually looked like, the only time glasses were ever acceptable to wear indoors was after the Guerrera fight where Andre Berto's eyes were both closed. So, I just don't see Shawn Porter with his pressure and relentlessness. I don't see Shawn Porter losing this fight. I think it's going to be a pretty easy fight for Shawn Porter, but an exciting fight while it lasts.
I can see an ugly fight, though. Honestly, I can see Shawn Porter smothering his pressure just because that's what he does, and then Andre Berto tying him up a lot. I can see that, but I think that Shawn Porter is going to beat him up a lot. That's just I cannot see Andre Berto taking his forward pressure at all.
Let me get your guys' early picks, and then let's get out to these phone calls and wrap this one up. If it happens, regardless of date, who you got?
Porter knockout.
Knockout. Wow. When's the last time Porter scored a knockout?
When's the last time?
Najee?
When's the last time Porter's fought somebody at the level of Berto?
On the level of Berto.
He fought that
Bonet?
scrum right before the
not Bonet.
Adrian Broner fight.
Yeah, he knocked out
Bonet.
one and he knocked him out.
Yeah.
He didn't stop Najee. I guess you're right. No, Devin Alexander, he didn't stop him.
But Devin Alexander could be better than Andre Berto, in my opinion. You can make that argument.
Wow. These guys are taking a dump on Berto around these parts. I mean, talk to me.
Yo. Good fight. Milkman made a good point about them uppercuts, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't think, Berto's got the reaction time, shoulder or not. Reaction time versus the pressure, Shawn Porter. Shawn does fight a bit wild and smother his punches, so I can see the uppercut landing. But at the same time, I think Shawn learned a little bit from getting in there with Thurman, and he might try to throw a little bit more jabs and maybe try to set up a little bit of 1-2 and then maybe with a little bit of bull rush. But good fight. I'm with it. I know y'all trying to run down the call queue so y'all can get out of here. That's my call.
All right, I mean, thanks for calling in. We're going out to our truck driver, man. Didn't he fall asleep yesterday?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he did.
I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
No, wake up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We live, baby. We live. Look here. I fell asleep yesterday, you know what I'm saying? You know I'm grinding hard out sitting yesterday. You had me on hold for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So I you know what I'm saying? I was napping on the job on that one. But on this little Berto situation, bro, Berto gonna get his fucking ass whooped, man. And everybody know that. I don't see why everybody like to be optimistic and all that shit, bro. Man, the best dude Berto ever fucking beat was Yan Zavit. That was it. Everybody else, Robert Guerrero whooped his ass. He looked like Martin, man, at the time he Hearn beat down on him after the fight. Then he fought Ortiz. Well, he fought Ortiz before that. Got his ass whooped. Who he ever beat? He ain't ever beat nobody. He ain't ever rematched nobody that whooped his ass. So I'm going to go in there and do what everybody else did that was on Shawn Porter level when they fought Berto. They whooped his ass, man. That's my call. It's simple. Why we making this so hard, bro? Whoever wants to bet, let's put your money on Berto and come see me. That's my call.
Yo, would you at least be excited? Would you at least be excited about the idea of Berto getting his ass whooped?
Obviously, but he's gonna have to. Porter's gonna have to take Berto out, and that's the thing. Could he take him out? Berto still could stick around. They could still use Berto for another up and coming welterweight like Jamal James. Let's say Shawn Porter runs through Berto, right, and he's not necessarily retirement ready. He's gonna have to fight guys like Jamal James and Brian Peralta and shit like that.
I don't see him continuing fighting. Not because Porter's gonna hurt him so badly. I just think that it just looks like the end for him.
905, you're up.
Hey, what up, though? It's your guy, Jay Steele's an R-Fella, host of the Live and Direct show on CFMU.MSU.McMaster.ca. Yeah, I just want to, this fight's not really competitive. Let's be real, you know what I mean? We got Shawn Porter. We had the last caller saying that styles make fights, but it actually is class levels make fights, you know what I mean? And Shawn Porter's on a different class levels. There's levels to this shit, and he's on a higher level. So this makes this fight it's not really competitive. I see Porter winning by stoppage easily, at least by the 7th round. I want to backtrack to your last show, the Chris Eubank whole Renaud Quinlan whole saga. And I don't know why people are shitting on or hating on Chris Eubank Jr. so much. I think he's a very talented fighter, very exciting, and he has a lot of potential.
Because he's a diva without doing anything.
Behind him, he could be marketed properly. You know what I mean? For what I'm hearing from over that side, overseas, is that ITV might be pulling out and canceling the whole pay-per-view. And Reynold Quinlan might have seen that fly around the internet scape, you know what I mean? And now he's feeling like, I don't know, I might have to pull out of this too. You know what I mean? And just to go back to the caller, I'm from Canada myself, the 905 stand up. You know what I mean? We just a little south of the 416, which is Toronto. But just to reiterate what Jose was saying about the whole UK boxing scene was ignorant. You know what I mean? Because from my knowledge, just don't the Queensberry rules come out of UK?
He's trolling. He's trolling.
You know what I mean? They got the most history when it comes to boxing culture and whatnot, not the Mexicans. You know what I mean? Queensberry rules. Where you think that comes from? You know what I mean? Understand. That's pure ignorance the man was talking. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was my call. Jay Steele's the author. Don't forget to check us out on the Live and Direct show, 93.3 FM. You know what I mean? Big up Boxing MD. Big up Ness GTL. Big up Matt, the Boxing Voice.
What? Could you repeat you said Jay Steele, right? Am I right? He said Jay Steele, right? Jay Steele, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jay Steele. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Yeah.
All the way from Canada. Look at that. I like it. Matt, take it down.
He's getting two plugs in the phone call.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, let them get their plugs off, yo. It's all love around here. Let's get to 2 days.
I just like the confidence. I respect the confidence, caller. I respect the confidence.
Yeah, what's up, man? Just give my thoughts on the whole Berto and Porter fight.
Yo, what section of the library you in?
I like this. Huh?
What section of the library you in?
No, I ain't in the library. But no, yeah, I like the fight. I think it's gonna be an exciting fight. I feel like styles make fights. I feel like if you go back to the Robert Guerrero fight with him and Berto, he was able to bully Berto, and he was coming up in weight. And I feel like that's Porter's style, to bully his opponent. So I feel like, I think, I could see Porter stopping Berto. I feel like Berto is kind of like a shot fighter. If you go to the Lopez fight, Lopez was beating him. No, Lopez was beating him the whole fight until he got caught. So, man, that's just my take on it.
All right, Santana. Good call. A lot of callers, man.
Mr. Infojo.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Infojo.
presented by my brother.
Yo.
Yo, Joe, what's going on, brother?
What up, Ness? What up, MD? What up, Matt? Hey,
What's up, brother?
All the Boxing Voice family out there, all the callers, everybody in the chat, the Boxing Voice is where it's at. Hey, I love this fight. I think it will be very, 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 very exciting. Styles do make fights, and I would pick Porter to beat Berto. I'm just happy for Porter, man. I heard him complaining on Fight Hype, talking about how his Danny got 2 fights lined up, and he hasn't even got 1 fight after the Thurman fight. So props to Porter and his dad, and I'm happy for him. And I was thinking last night, man, they need to throw Drake and Meek Mills on the undercard.
Yo, Info Joe, you wouldn't even believe. Yo, they got Chris Brown practicing already, doing pad work, man. The video of Soulja Boy throwing punches at the camera is the most hilarious thing in the world. MD
It's the worst. It's so bad.
Well, I think what's even worse is that's Chris Brown's pad work, right?
Yeah, but at the end, if you keep watching, they got a clip of Soulja Boy throwing punches. He's shadow boxing, looks horrible.
I don't know if he's
worse than Ronda Rousey. Worse than Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I don't know if he's trolling there, but Chris Brown's more embarrassing because he's like being all serious and he's doing like the hand twirling shit. Like they're terrible. But I will tell you one thing. It's important to note that for a long time, Ken Porter was very adamant at the sense that Floyd Mayweather. And yes, we didn't, because we don't think he did deserve enough at that point to get a Floyd Mayweather shot. But Ken Porter was adamant that Floyd would never give him a shot, but he deserved the shot more than Berto. So I think that, to an extent, is a level of disappointment that maybe Shawn Porter could have, as far as the financial success he's had, because he's taken the tough fights, and he should be rewarded for that. So.
Yeah. Porter, I mean, he's been pushed back to the back burner. I don't see why. He's for him to be in the fight of the year last year, to me, in my opinion, he deserves more props. And I just want to say peace to the Boxing Voice, man. Y'all doing an awesome job, man. Hit those thumbs up, become a Patreon. TBV, pound for pound. I'm out.
Info Joe, man. Thanks for gracing us, brother.
And I'm sorry, one more thing before we take another caller. And someone just said in the chat, fighters need to call out people more publicly, and I agree, especially PBC fighters, because there's a large stable of in-house fighters, and there's no excuse for these fights not to be made. None.
Well, the excuse is I'm not gonna get beat up by Porter for free. That's what and it's sad.
And then we could say that's a duck.
Yeah, but you see, we gotta how can that entity find a happy medium, right? Like if Porter Thurman was 1.5 each, let's say roughly, like what is Porter Berto?
About $1 million,
800K, 500K.
Yeah.
And that's the problem when you start giving guys like Berto 800.
No, more than
fight Porter, when you already think he's destined to lose. You're fucking up the market.
Matt, can you look up the Ortiz?
No. I'm saying give Porter 800K, give Berto 500K.
No.
Still too much. $500,000. He need to earn that shit.
You know, Berto's going to ask for that. That's the thing. You know that. Come on.
Caller. Look for his last person. Let's see what he got for Victor Ortiz. 404. You're up. Who's this?
What up, Ness? This is Mel from Atlanta.
Who?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You said
Mel,
who?
MEL.
MEL. Mel from it. You said Atlanta or Maryland?
Atlanta.
Talk to me, brother.
Man, I think the Andre Berto versus Shawn Porter fight is actually more competitive and exciting than the Jeff Horn versus Manny Pacquiao, just from a fan's point of view watching the fight.
That's a fair point.
And I think Andre Berto is actually a little bit better fighter than Chris Algieri. I think he'd beat Chris Algieri. And I also think he beat, what's the guy Chris Algieri beat? Ruslan Provatnikov. If you think about it, Andre Berto at this point, he beat Ruslan.
Now, but I don't think he'd be. I would definitely pick Ruslan when Chris Algieri fought him to beat Berto.
Ruslan may still beat Berto right now with that style that he got. It's a tough
shot. Yeah, Ruslan to me looks shot, but
but Berto doesn't like pressure. You know, he likes that wide stance, and you can't really defend with that stance. Not when you got a guy.
He also has a suspect chin too. Let's not forget that.
So you'd rather see Chris Algieri versus Shawn Porter instead of Berto?
No, because I think that Chris Algieri will get steamrolled by Porter easier because of the styles. But I think that Chris Algieri versus Berto is a competitive match.
Yeah, Berto has power. I think that's the X factor. But yeah, that's my call. Appreciate you.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling in. You know what, MD? You said something. I like that. Berto Algieri would have been a more exciting fight, I think, in terms of skill, because Algieri is such a good not such a good boxer, but he's a decent boxer. We've seen guys like Josecito Lopez outboxing Berto. You know, who else was outboxing Berto throughout a period of his fight?
You said Josito, right? You said Josito, obviously. He was being outboxed by Floyd Mayweather. But I guess Soto Cross brought pressure, and Guerrero brought pressure too. Mm-hmm. But again, who has he beat? Like, you know, but the thing is, Andre Berto had a fast rise of his career.
He's got that huge win over Freddie Hernandez, man. Get out of here, young sperm. Let me talk to you. You know, you forgot his Freddie Hernandez win, MD? Young sperm, you there?
I also don't forget that HGH got.
All right, he's busy. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Sperm wasn't ready. Berto, I don't know if he's gonna be ready. I wonder if Al Heyman made that call already to young Berto. See if he's ready for that fight with Shawn Porter.
Al been taking care of Berto. He got on the Floyd fight, so maybe hopefully Al's like, look, we got you the Floyd fight. You're gonna have to fight Shawn Porter, and he's gonna be like, okay. But I hope I hope Berto does put up a valiant effort because I like to see a good fight and I like to see a more competitive fight than I expect it to be. So, but I'm being positive about this fight because it's a fight that I do want to see, and it's a fight that all boxing fans should want to see.
I bet you he wish he'd have took that Algieri fight now.
Hell yeah. That's at least a maybe winnable fight.
And he won't get as hurt.
Yeah, what if he comes back and shocks us and knocks everybody out the way he's been knocking out all the guys that he comes from behind to win?
Well, if he knocks out Shawn Porter, he would be deserving a resurgence of his career because he's doing something that Keith Thurman couldn't do. So that's and Cal Brook couldn't do.
Yeah, Shawn's chin is fairly proven. Listen, I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Let me know in the comments below. Should we do a Lomachenko Orlando Salido fights off? I mean, we got a very adamant listener that wants to hear that, but I just don't see the interest. I mean, MD calls it a mainstream topic.
Well, I think it's between
casualness, man. I told you, MD, casualness.
Yep. I think that those fighters are not hipster names necessarily. I think Lomachenko is
Kryptonite in the chat saying we gotta do it. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? I like your
one person.
Exactly. You guys
if there's one person that wants it, that means there's an audience for it.
You see, someone said I don't know about mainstream. You can't say Lomachenko's mainstream yet, man. Nobody knows
what.
Hey, but he's probably gonna listen to the show.
He's mainstream in the boxing community. Hipster in the boxing, there's different levels. There's levels to the game, right? And there's levels of hipster, right? So and maybe Ness is like the least hipster, and then you have me less than Ness, and then you have like Matt like way the fuck like the most hipster. So there's like levels to this.
I'm not the most hipster. Come on, like Naota is the most hipster. Let's be all real about that.
Well, everybody has their own opinion.
You are the most hipster because everybody I've heard pronounces it Nelta. You're the only one said Naota, so it's like, yeah, you're hipster. Anyway, man, find us on Instagram at ThaBoxingVoice and on Twitter, so you could always stay up to date. Follow us here on social media and on YouTube. Get that notification. You never know when we're going back live. Follow my co-host at.
You could follow me at BoxingMD1 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter.
Later.